Yeah. Okay, if we could rise for the pledge. Thank you. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if we could just take a moment and remember men and women in the armed forces. It's a holiday time and so many are away from home. Also, a couple of local folks, Todd Brown, who passed away, and I have an announcement here. Some of you may know it, but Master Sergeant Robert Zembrowski retired, passed away on Tuesday, November 21, at the VA hospital, Hudson Valley Healthcare in Montrose. He was 77 years old. Retired as a Master Sergeant after 23 years in the United States Army, served in the Vietnam War, was a member of the United States Military Academy Band at West Point, and was commander of the American Legion O'Connor Doyle Post 633 here in Highland Falls. And if you ever came to the ceremonies on Veterans Day, Memorial Day, as I called him, Zeb, he was the MC. And there'll be a memorial service, and I may remind you, this is in the future, April the 17th of 2018 at the old Cadet Chapel at West Point. So that's in the near future. And I'd like to refer to Charlie about someone that she would like to talk about for a moment.
I appreciate the coverage in our local newspaper for EMT Mike Murphy, who died very suddenly. It was a tragic loss for his family and his community. He rode with several ambulance corps, but he had provided a good, I believe, 6 years of service to the town of Highlands. And I had the honor of riding on Sundays with him. He was an exemplary person, and we miss him a tremendous amount.
And Charlie, he worked for us for a little while as a dispatcher.
Dispatcher.
So we remember all these folks. Thank you. So, we're a little bit late. We had some, in an executive session downstairs, we interviewed 2 candidates for part-time positions as dispatchers for the Highland Falls Police Department. They had been interviewed by our sergeant who's here tonight and Chief Ken Scott. And it was the board's turn before we bring them here to the meeting. I appreciate you staying for this. And so if we could have a motion as to bring these 2 young ladies on board.
I make a motion.
Motion by trustee Howard, is there a second?
Second.
Make a second by trustee Livesey, that Linda Bailey, and it's not that easy as Linda Bailey. So we have Stephanie, you have to do your last name.
Delasera.
Delasera. Thank you, I should know that. And so you'll both be part-time police dispatchers, and you're gonna help us out. And you both have tremendous background with all of this, so thank you. Thank you for applying, thank you for going through the process. We have a motion, we have a second.
Starting salary
It's $12.
and probation 52 weeks.
Yes. That's part of the motion, $12 an hour, probation is 52 weeks. There's a motion, there's a second. May I have, to do this, may I have a roll call?
Trustee Allard?
Aye.
Trustee Livesey?
Aye.
Trustee Ramus?
Aye.
Trustee Murphy?
Aye.
Mayor DiNapoli?
Aye. Thank you. Thank you, welcome. Okay. Your punishment is you have to stay for the rest of the meeting. No, you can go. That's why I did you first, believe me. Go. Go. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you get some rest, young lady.
Yes,
Uh,
I will.
Okay. Any public comment on agenda items? Let's skip the mayor's comments right now. So we have new business. We'd like to approve the minutes that were taken on the 20th of November, 2017, and a special meeting that we had on the 16th of November, 2017. You have the minutes before you. Okay, we'll do them separate. So if I can have a motion on the regular meeting, the 20th of November, 2017. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion.
Motion by trustee Howard, seconded by trustee Livesey. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next, we have the minutes before us on a special meeting we had on November the 16th, 2017. May I have a motion to accept the minutes?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Murphy, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Howard. May I have roll call?
Trustee Howard,
Aye.
trustee Livesey,
Aye.
trustee Ramus,
Abstain.
trustee Murphy,
Aye.
Mayor DiNapoli.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, next, we have 2 meetings a month, but in January, they both fall on holidays. Our first meeting is January 1, 2018, and I would like to have a motion that we do it the following night on January 2, 2018. And the second one is Martin Luther King, January the 15th, 2018, if we could do that on Tuesday, January 16th.
I make a motion, we change the dates because of holidays.
No second.
Motion by trustee Howard, second by trustee Livesey, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next on the agenda is the authorization for the mayor to sign the developer's agreement with the Old Guard Hotel. I would ask the board that we table this on the agenda until we have a chance to go over the developer's agreement and with our attorney especially, and we'll put it back on the agenda in the future.
I'll make a motion that we table it.
Motion by trustee Livesey, is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Howard. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. So Elise, I'll figure something out.
Okay, it's what you approved.
Yeah. And just so you know, I don't think, so this, sometimes you get out in front of your headlights. I don't think there's a problem, but, we just all want to be in the room together. There was a lot of emails going back and forth. I had 25 pages today. Yeah, okay, and so,
All right.
I think everything's okay, but that's not enough to tell my board to authorize me to sign.
That's fine, anytime you wanna get together and discuss it and go
Yeah.
through it, we can do that.
It's on the to-do list immediately, okay? Thank you. Next is a resolution introducing local law and providing for public hearing to amend the property maintenance law to establish by resolution a schedule on administrative fees for property maintenance violations. Now, those of you that watch on TV or come to the meetings, we have a lot of property maintenance issues that come before us, and we take care of them. And so we thank the building department, and then I thank my fellow board members for being on top of this. But it's costing the village a lot of money in administrative fees for these property maintenance violations. And so as we've talked several times recently, we probably are going to want to increase the administrative fees. And so that's what this does, correct?
Yes, it just allows you to create a schedule that can be created by resolution and modified by resolution without modifying the local law every time the fees change.
Thank you. So, you have the resolution before you? Correct? So if we could set December the 18th, which is our next meeting here, 2017 at 7 p.m. for a public hearing on the change in the maintenance, property maintenance violations to allow us to increase the fines. Not, excuse me, increase the administrative fees. And now that I made that error, we might someday want to look at even fines, increasing that, which I think we're allowed to. You brought that to our attention.
Yeah, this allows you to do that. So instead of having the administration fees, which would not just cover your administration, but all the excess work that you have to do this multiple times. So I think your real point was multiple offenders should be subject to fees that increase
Yes.
over time because the administration and keeping track of all of that increases. And your local law now doesn't really allow you to do that, so this does.
Thank you. So I'll read it. It's not long. Be it resolved that introductory local law titled Amendment to Chapter 170 to establish by resolution a schedule of administrative fees for property maintenance violation. Be it and is hereby introduced by Mayor D'Onofrio before the Board of Trustees of the Village of Highland Falls, the County of Orange, and the State of New York. Be it further resolved that copies of the proposed local law be laid upon the desk of each member of the Board of Trustees, which it has. Be it further resolved that the Board of Trustees shall hold a public hearing on said proposed local law at the Village Hall, 303 Main Street, Highland Falls, New York, at 7 p.m. on December the 18th, 2017. And be it further resolved that the village clerk shall publish or cause to be published a public notice in the official newspaper of the Village of Highland Falls no later than 5 days prior. May I have a motion? A second. I made the motion. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Murphy. May I have roll call?
Trustee Alward.
Aye.
Trustee Livesey.
Aye.
Trustee Ramus.
Aye.
Trustee Murphy.
Aye.
Mayor D'Onofrio.
Aye. Is the clerk okay?
Yep.
Next on the agenda is a resolution that the members, and when I refer to members, please, when I refer to members, it's this board, the 5 of us, request for a special meeting in reference to the Highland Falls Economic Development Corporation. Upon a motion by member Joseph D'Onofrio, I'd like to have a second. Members of the Highland Falls Economic Development Corporation hereby calls a special meeting of the Highland Falls Economic Development Corporation on the 18th of December 2017 at 6:30 p.m. at the Village Hall, 303 Main Street, to consider the disillusionment of the Highland Falls Economic Development Corporation.
I put in 6:30 thinking that half an hour, even if it goes a little longer, would be okay. But you can set the time or the date as you wish.
I'll second that motion.
May I have roll call?
Trustee Alward.
Aye.
Trustee Livesey.
Aye.
Trustee Ramus.
Aye.
Trustee Murphy.
Aye.
Mayor D'Onofrio.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, there's some folks before us here that want to become members of the Highland Falls Fire Department, which is great. We need members, especially daytime members, but we need members that can serve any hour of the day or night. And so all the paperwork has been given to the clerk for Cleveland Lent and Janine Lent. So we can approve them. The third one, Jacob Sibley, we're waiting on his physical, which I believe he had this past weekend. So if we could approve the 2 Lents, because all their paperwork is in, they've been recommended to us by the chief. And then on a separate motion, approve Jacob Sibley upon the clerk receiving his physical. Passing and the clerk receiving his physical. Is that, okay? So if I could have a motion for Cleveland Lent and Janine Lent to be members of the Highland Falls Fire Department.
I would love to make that motion.
Motion by Trustee Murphy, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Ramus. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Then if I could have a motion for Jacob Sibley, that he be approved as a member of the Highland Falls Fire Department upon the clerk receiving a physical that he has passed.
I'll make a motion.
Trustee Livesey, is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Howard, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you so much. We have bills and claims for the fiscal year 2018 of $98,008.95. Motion to pay bills.
Make a motion to pay bills.
Motion by trustee Howard, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by trustee Murphy, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. The water department, the leak detector company has completed their survey. We found, they found a few service leaks, and they're being fixed, and/or the property owner, in some cases, it's the property owner themselves. They're scheduling, the water department is gonna schedule with the highway department to fix a water break up in front of 61 Schneider Avenue. Very, very good news, every fire hydrant in the village of Highland Falls has been repaired if it needed, and every fire hydrant is working. Bog Meadow, our reservoir is at 49%. So, while that concerns the board, we will not impose any mandatory restrictions, but the board would like everyone to conserve where they can. We need rain, and I hate to say it, and/or snow. That is our issue, the lack of rain. So, I know some rain's gonna come tomorrow, they say, and Wednesday, and that, we're gonna need more than that. So please conserve where you can. And we'll keep the public informed as hopefully the number goes up. I'd like the village residents to know that the board, at the last meeting, and you'll see it on Main Street now for the whole month of December, it's free parking. We do that to make it convenient and that hopefully you'll shop local. That's what we need. So parking is free, shop local. The community Christmas lighting ceremony this past Saturday went very, very well. A tremendous amount of people attended, from small children waiting for Santa Claus, to other folks listening to the brass quintet of the United States Military Academy's band, which is second to none. We also had a young girl from Marlboro, lives in Marlboro, goes to Marlboro School, who played the French horn. And it was very, very nice. The village, coming in tonight, a lady walking two dogs out here said, wow, so I never seen anything like it. The village looks great. And that's the kind of comments that are being made to the board members. And there's a lot of thanks. And so we want to make sure that we say in general, but we know who they are. We want to thank everyone who helped decorate the village. It was a lot of volunteers. It was not one person, and it wasn't any particular group. It was many. We thank the center for their participation in Saturday night. We thank the chamber for their participation. We thank Philip Galou. We don't thank him enough for all he does for this community. He's the spirit guy. And he bought the reindeers and he bought Santa. And I tell you something you already know. We're at an age that when you look down at these kids and they're looking up at Santa and they really believe. It's a miracle. It's the greatest thing going. They really believe.
So what?
Yeah, it
Well, you
was
should.
Santa.
That's what I'm saying, and you should. I had a little issue with the Easter Bunny and things like that. But Santa, you believe. You really believe. And the kids were like, I mean, to look at their faces, some obviously were scared. Some didn't want to go too close. Some wanted to shake his hand. Some wanted to give him a high five. Some wanted to tell him what they want. It was great. It was just great. It was great. So I thank a couple of folks. I do want to thank the garrison commander from West Point for coming down. I want to thank the highway department for all they did. And the beautification committee, it's a small in number, they want more members, but when we think of Cindy Modlin and Susan Wicks and Renata Farmer and Janet Dutt, it was their brainchild for the lights. And I hope everyone enjoys them. And the board is talking about leaving, well, the lights are gonna stay up, most of them, but they'll be lit other times of the year. Brian, you had a good suggestion on prom night. I mean, you could see the couples down there all dressed up in front of these lights, you know? 4th of July might be, we don't want to overdo it, so we're going to pick 3 or 4 times during the year that those lights are going to come on for a day.
So I thank Jeannie for playing all that music.
I'm sorry.
The guy who played all the music.
Oh, Danny Zint.
Danny.
Thank you, Danny Zint. You know, Danny Zint. Zint's an old-time name here in the village. They go way, 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 way back. And he provided for an hour before the festivities started. He was our DJ, and he was very, very good. So we thank him a lot. I mentioned the DPW for all the work they did, and they did more than you would think they did. The last few days I had them running around.
I have a report, Joe.
Okay, I'm not gonna give that report, but that falls into what I actually wanna say. And I debated whether to bring this up. I say to everyone, do not believe what you see on Facebook, okay? There's comments on Facebook that the DPW, the Highway Department, Gary Boyce and his men aren't doing anything. Think about that. They're not doing anything. How can that be? How can that be? That's terrible. Now, this is America. I always say that. We can say whatever we want. And yes, that's what's going on. People are saying whatever they want on Facebook. But I'm looking into this camera, and if the person who put this on Facebook is watching, you're wrong. You're wrong. The Highway Department is running around short-handed, all over the place. And Mr. Howard, who's the commissioner with the Highway Department, he's going to expound on that. So please, next time you see a Highway Department guy, I'll be honest with you, any village employee, water department, sewer department, village hall people, say thanks. They do a great service for us, for the community. They do a great service. Say thanks. You don't get paid a lot in government. You can make more on the outside. But they're here, and they're long-term. These folks are long-term. Most own a home, raise their families here. Isn't that what we want? So this board says to specifically the Highway Department, job well done. As always, job well done. Okay, that's my thing. Mr. Albert.
Yeah, I have 2 reports. One is police, one is DPW. DPW, Gary placed a fire hydrant on Old State Road, performed preparation for paving on 5 streets, cut out water boxes, manholes, and raised utility valve boxes. Traffic control for paving and adjusting utility boxes. Paved an area on the south end of Mearns Avenue with the help of the town crew. Put up snowflakes, tested electrical outlets, delivered Christmas decorations, replaced bulbs in several antique streets. I vacuumed leaves on the 29th and 30th, and they're still vacuuming since the leaves are falling at a later time than before. Can I go on to the police, is that all right?
Sure.
Incident, total calls up to that was 1,340. Arrest summaries, we had 20, 9 violations, 8 misdemeanors, and 3 felonies. Summons issued, Meter tickets 16, traffic was 55, total summons was 71, revenue collected, meter ticket fees 215, village ticket fees 460, report fees $24, total is $699. Please, so the total mileage was 6,394.9.
Very good. Sergeant, you want to add anything to that?
No, sir, that's pretty much the same.
I have, well, first I want to echo Joe on how nice it looks out there. It actually looks beautiful out there. It really does. I mean, it brings Christmas out in Highland Falls, and I know they're doing throughout the town of Highlands, and as Joe was saying, you've got to commend all of those people that are involved. One thing I want to talk to the board briefly about tonight is, I'll hand you this. And you guys can look onto that there, and me and Brian will look on this here. So we talk about Roe Park, which is, Joe, you put this together up there. It's absolutely beautiful. It's one of the big amenities that we have in the village of Highland Falls. We have a couple problems up there, though. We have to think about this year, what we're going to do about next year. And the reason I say that, when you look on the first page here, of course, we have the geese problem that's up at Roe Park. But when we go into the second page, where the playground is, the surface there, as you guys are seeing on the end there, is deteriorating badly. And actually, it's getting so bad, it has to be taken out. Because what's gonna happen after this year, as you can see, the water's gonna get in there, and Jimmy, you know this too, it's gonna freeze and it's gonna destroy it. So as I go through this here, and you can see how bad it's getting up there, we're gonna seriously have to think about getting this done. I'm going to make a few calls and trying to get some money to put this together. Now, the gazebo that's up there, that needs work. That's gonna need some serious work, and like I say, when you look at this as a distance, it looks nice, but we have to think about some things up there, and actually you can see here, where it's getting pretty bad, so,
That's a nice report there.
and,
It's just pictures, but it tells the you know.
well, I want you to keep one of these.
Yeah, well, I do, yeah.
This area here is another big problem area here, and also what we're going to do with these sheds, because this is starting to become,
This has to be addressed, and I know Trustee Murphy has not, I don't wanna say tried, but more than tried.
well, what I'd
The
like to,
school, Frank Sheboy at the school said that he would bring it up about moving some of these elsewhere.
but you're saying some.
Well,
But I wanna know what's in these.
Mhm.
These are big, Charlie, I mean, what is in all four of these? I know there's a lawnmower
in that
in one of them.
I think you're gonna find, we actually should know because it's our property. It's the village's property.
But-
Those sheds belong to the town. I believe what you'll find in there is equipment for the grass, et cetera, and then equipment,
it's sports equipment.
yeah. But,
But Aaron, I'm sure would be happy to
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
we-
they have to be moved.
And then again, you know, up there, I mean, we had the concern of the basketball court, the pool. So there's a lot on the agenda coming into 2018 for Roe Park. So that's something that this board, we definitely have to put into our discussions coming into next year. And as you can see on the surface part, that needs immediate attention. I mean, this is really.
So, Murphy, what we, I appreciate, it. What we need is, it's not the only way we can do this, but what we need is a grant. And we're gonna go out and look for a grant. The other that you just mentioned, which was the basketball court and the pool,
That should be part of,
I would like to see that part of that other grant, 150?
125.
125.
But I think the two items you just mentioned are priorities.
Yes.
Although some money was allocated for that system to get rid of the geese, that does come highly touted, and it's solar operated, only $750, so I hope that is also at the top of the list.
Well, I know that there's a committee, so, and I know that you're on it. But, and I've heard so many different suggestions on how that money should be spent. But if you can let the folks know that if the grant doesn't fix the pool, I know you know this, if the grant doesn't fix the pool, we're gonna still have to fix the pool.
Yep.
So I would like to see I think we would like to see the grant fix the pool,
Right.
and the basketball courts, but yes, we got some work to do.
There's quite a bit.
Yep, thank you.
And then lastly, just real quick, I know we've been, we talk about the marina project down there, and my intentions on thinking about the marina project is bringing revenue in. Now, this is by no means what I'm looking for down there, and you guys can have this. This is just to give you a little idea on a marina. This is the one that I'm at. But you can see the amenities that are down there. What it does, these are all ads for people that are in the area.
Nice.
On the back, what we have down there and everything. But nobody says that we can't take that down there and make something much smaller, but in size close to something. So I
And we've
really,
talked about that.
once again, like, I guess we're in December here now, once we get into 2018, I would really like to bring this marina project
Well,
back up against something to think about,
what I want the board to do, and I'll come up with my particular master list, for lack of a word, I'll call it a master list. I don't wanna wait till spring and summer,
Right,
okay? We need to start to talk about this stuff come January. We have some
exactly.
beautiful holidays coming up.
I agree.
That doesn't mean work stops, because it doesn't. But come January, we need to sit down and have a good working meeting about projects some that have to be done, and some that we really would like to do, okay?
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, good stuff, very good stuff. Trevor?
I just also would like to echo your commendations for a great celebration last Saturday. Also, I wanted to mention that the library across the street was decorated by Vision, as were volunteers from Vision doing the flower boxes along the walls. So it really was a great turnout from all sections and sectors of the village for a great celebration. And that's about it, other than a pitch for go get your flu shots, but be prepared to have a reaction like I'm having tonight.
You're a good advertisement on why not to get the flu shot.
Well, I'm
disagree with
optimistic
that.
I will not get the flu now because I've gotten flu-like symptoms as were promised.
So when you see Charlie next week with the flu,
I thought we got it.
I got mine in
Raymond?
September, I'm great. How about you?
Yeah.
All right, just two quick things. The engineer, the village engineer is working on the specs for the belt press down at the sewer plant. There's an issue, so we're gonna revisit that this week.
We're having a meeting.
On Wednesday. Joe's gonna be there, as well as the supervisor for the sewer department, and our engineer. So we're working on that to try to get that completed, as far as the specs, and that project really needs to get done. Unfortunately, the plant's very old, and there's another piece of equipment that has gone down. It's not a showstopper, but it needs to be fixed. And I'll give you some more input on that. I just don't want to bring it out into the public just yet, because we need to know how we're gonna have to pay for this. But it's gotta get done.
So that's very important, those two issues, which will be talked about with the engineer on Wednesday afternoon with our treasurer. And so, I'll have more to give you.
All right. That and one last thing, Army's playing Navy this week.
Yes,
Go Army.
and we're playing the San Diego State in the bowl. That's who we got picked with.
Army's got this.
So, does our press have anything?
Well, just one thing,
Jeez.
you said every hydrant was working. I watched the news right before I came here and they said maybe a little snow this weekend. Do you wanna say anything about hydrants and snow?
Well,
And I can put that in one
yeah,
little story?
what we've always liked in the past is if there's a hydrant in front of your house, or across the street from your house, or next to your house, you know, it's good for us. There's one next to my house, and my neighbors and I, it's not that we take turns, but if it's not done, I'll do it. If it's, sometimes they do it, sometimes I do it. But that hydrant becomes extremely important to one's house. So we asked the residents to help us. There is a list that the highway department does as far as, you know, obviously the first thing is streets, you know, and then we like to get the parking lots and clean up Main Street. And then we do the sidewalks on Main Street. And so eventually on a blizzard, they will get to the hydrants, but the first responders, the first responders to the fire hydrants is the public. So I asked them to help. We need help.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Okay. I thank you for remembering Army. We're all gonna be very happy, I believe, Saturday night. And it's gonna be well-deserved and long waited for. So, thank you. Lisa, have anything? You're okay. Okay, so we thank everyone, and there's time to wish everyone a Merry Christmas at our next meeting,
It's
so.
only 7:30.
And it's only 7:35, and you'll notice I didn't bring up my pile of folders.
You're not on TV, just so you know.
Good, I didn't bring up my pile of folders.
Good.
I don't get anything for that, because every time I come up, you say something. 2 thumbs. Is the camera off?
No, we didn't we're not out of the meeting. We're
Oh.
still recording for the YouTube.
Okay, so may I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I go home and watch Dancing with the Stars.
No, it's